Hey everybody, welcome back to Vampire Survivors. This is part 3 of the complete guide to all trophies. In this video we are going to, we're looking at what we have left to unlock. And we're going to make it all the way to the platinum in this video. So a lot of these things are not needed for the platinum, they're needed for the 100%. All these extra trophies are involved with the extra levels. The laboratory, the astral stairs, Bat Country. Boss Rash has a relic in it, but that is not needed for the to unlock Queen Sigma. Those chaos gems are just fun little things that I only got towards the end of my run the first time. But we do need to still unlock 2 of these characters, 3,000 Milk Elementals and 6,000 Stage Killers. Do not need to worry about the bats for the platinum. We need to get the level 50s for the randomazo cards. And we need to get those 5 unlocked characters to level 80 to get the rerolls. You also need to survive for 30 minutes in Boss Rash. No, I'm sorry, not Boss Rash. 30 minutes in Green Acres and Bone Zone, and 15 minutes in Boss Rash, which will get you extra skips. The banishes, you do not need to worry about as far as unlocking Queen Sigma. They are not part of the collection 1.0, and they are much easier to get 40 banishes with Queen Sigma, because she gets 118 altogether. If you are watching this after watching the previous video, please ignore the fact that the Evolve, the bracelet, is not checked and the candy box is not checked. This was the only moment that I did in between the capture of the final moment of the last video and what you're seeing here in this video. So this was, and you're going to see me do it, I'm unlocking room 1665. And I figured this wasn't really worth putting in the previous video because we wanted to get candy box. I figured it was a better way to end that video. So we're just flip-flopping those 2 moments in my gameplay, but it doesn't change anything for you. So I'm putting in the word forbidden box, no space, and that is going to unlock in these secrets, which we can now access because we got the item, the Forbidden Scrolls of Morbane or something, in the Bone Zone by killing the rolling ball of bones, and it sends us right into it. Whoever we were playing last, here we go. So this is it's actually kind of a difficult one, and you know what? My first mistake was realizing that it was going to throw me right into it because it gave me a character that's primary weapon is a defense, and there is no way to evolve that defense because there is no Metaglio left and right in this level, and there are no, as far as I can remember, I'm pretty sure there's no gold and silver rings either. So what this is, it's just a series of rooms. You're trapped in a room. You've got a bunch of enemies to fight, and eventually, I imagine it's once you kill enough of the enemies, the trap door at the bottom will open up, and then you can go down a hallway where there's going to be a lot of power-ups you can use, which will still happen very soon here. Listen for the sound. Okay, I believe that was that was the sound. So here you have a bunch of light sources. Go ahead and break some of these open. You're going to find floor chickens and at least 1 or 2. Hopefully you get enough. And then what kind of stinks is then you have to go into the next room, and then you're kind of trapped. So what I try to do, not very successfully unfortunately, I don't make it very far in this one. Again, this is also before I was able to evolve the bracelet to get candy box like I did at the end of the last video. So I'm working on getting that because, again, Laurel isn't really going to help me out in this space. So I'm trying to get as much experience points as I can now that I know there's a floor chicken I can grab. But basically you run from room to room, and the primary point of this is to get all the way down to a certain room that has a relic called the Darkazo, which is like the Randomazo. It is another card selection feature, and the cards that you can get for the Darkazo are even more powered up. They're really ridiculously fun to use. And you get those cards by getting our 5 unlocked characters: Martasio, O Sole Mio, Biancaramba, Yatakavala, and Sir Ambrogio. You get all of them to level 80 and you unlock all 6 really, of the Darkazo cards, and you'll be able to select them every time you start up a level if you're using Arcanas or Arcanes. I think it's Arcana. They call them Darkanas for the Darkazo. And you can see I'm pretty much dead in the water here. I'm not going to survive because it gets harder and harder as you go down. And if you don't have a powerful weapon set, you're not going to make it. So we did a nice jump cut here. We got to level 14, and that is pretty much as far as we're going to go. We do have some fairly powerful weapons, but we're just not making a dent enough in these enemies. We've been playing for 7.5 minutes, and I don't even think I make it to the point where I can unlock the next trap. Yeah, we get a game over, we revive, and it's just not enough to survive after that. I even think I'm trying to run away to the room above, and we don't make it. We will come back to this later very shortly with Martasio, and we will get the Darkazo, so you'll see what that looks like in a little bit. And all we got here was a trophy. I believe it's a trophy. I didn't add the trophy video here, but it is an achievement, so it should be a trophy as well, for typing Forbidden Box into the clue little window there, and we unlocked 1665, which we will take a look at later, as I said. So here we are in Boss Rash. If you're not familiar with this, it's a 15-minute long gauntlet of all the bosses in the game. 1 or 2 of them spawn in every few minutes, and you have to take them out. And I feel like they're not nearly as powerful as they are in the level, because if they would throw a 25-minute boss at you at minute, well, here we are at minute 6, that just wouldn't be fair, because you wouldn't have enough. As you can see, I tried banishing. I was trying to do 10 banishes just to get that out of the way. I think somewhere along the line of this video I do that, but and I'm also using the Mad Forest Arcana Randomazo card, which brings all the pickups to you, because in this level, it's really weird how they have this. They have every single passive item that you can want as a pickup, but they're outside of the arena. You can't get to them unless you use this card. So this is the best, well, one of the best places to use that Mad Forest card. You see the one with the tree there. Looks like it is number 8, Roman numeral 8. I believe it is just called Mad Forest, or it's called something like that. But you get it for getting to 31 minutes in Mad Forest. And here at 7 minutes, the relic spawns. This is the, I can't even remember what this is called. We will find out in just a second here. The Atlas Gate. And that opens up the adventures. Now there are 2 base game adventures, and both DLC, both trophy DLCs are play as adventures as well. And the adventures basically are a whole nother game you can run through. And the first ones, you start with Poe. It's all about garlic. And the second one, you're I feel like you're the girl with the wand. maybe. I can't remember exactly which character you are, but you start in both of those adventures. You will need to get them done to get 100%, but not the platinum, of course. And again, this boss Rash, you need to get to level 15. I mean, you need to get to 15 minutes, which I'm doing right here. But you don't need the relic for the platinum. You need that relic for 100%. So you can unlock adventures, and we'll start working on those eventually. But the thing about adventures is you're starting from scratch. They are completely separate games. So you're going to jump in. You're not going to have any power-ups. You're going to only have like one character. I think you start with Poe, and then you can unlock a few characters after that. You are going to get money, and so you can put that money into the power-ups and get yourself a little powered up. This is video 3. I imagine I can probably show you that in video 4, which I haven't even played the base adventures on this account yet. So there's a good chance, if that is going to be included in video 4, that it's going to be a couple days before that comes out. But here we made it through 15 minutes. By the way, we did set it for endless mode. We survived 15 minutes, and we got another skip. And that takes care of a couple things. Again, I think the skips, the rerolls, and just the skips and rerolls, I think that's important to get for the Queen Sigma. Level 50 with Arc, I believe, and then 30 minutes in Queen Anchor, so we get another skip as well. Here is Croce. And we got level 50 with Croce, and 30 minutes in the Bone Zone. Something we tried to do earlier, but could not manage. I think this is another level 50 here. Level 50 with Gennaro, the guy who throws the knives. Another random muscle card there. And Cerro Clarica. Oh, no, never mind. This is the Bianca Ramba. So we have now killed 3,000 milk elementals, and we've unlocked Ramba, who's a ghost that throws like mine carts. Very strange. But you're going to see how effective she is in one of the extra levels called the Tiny Bridge. Because that's all it is. It's a tiny bridge, and it goes left to right, and you will take out every single enemy in your path when you use her. But it wasn't enough to get her to level 80, if I'm remembering correctly. Unfortunately. Here at minute 21 of Capella Magna, I just realized what I was showing you this video, is when the game killers come in. So you see all these guys, they're little versions of the characters you can unlock. They come at minute 21, and then again in a larger form at minute 26. And I thought I showed this in the previous video, but maybe not. Maybe I was just editing this and going over what I was going to mention. And I will say, trying to get 6,000 of these game killers killed, it seems like quite a task when you look at the number, but I have to say, I don't think I played Capella Magna more than a couple times. And if they only come out for 2 minutes out of the 30 minutes you're playing it, I don't think it should be too difficult, especially because you have to play this level a couple times, because it is one of the harder base game levels. So, and you can see already, 21, the minute 21 is over, and they're no longer there. They're going to come in again here in about 10 seconds. And yeah, so I think this was maybe the 3rd or 4th time I've played through this level. They do show up also in Green Acres, and I did play Green Acres 2 or 3 times. So maybe after getting the 30 minutes in Green Acres right before this, and playing this for the 3rd or 4th time, maybe that's what sent me over the edge and got me the 6,000 I needed. But this was the last of the 5 characters we needed to unlock. And at any point once they're unlocked, you can get them to level 80. Of course, we've been trying to do that And if I didn't kind of drive that point home yet, you're seeing me play a lot of these extra levels. You don't have to necessarily play, well, actually, every level you saw me play so far, I believe, except for 1665. You don't need to play 1665 for the platinum. So if you want to get the platinum, you can play a different level. At this point, what's important is getting these 5 characters unlocked, getting these 5 characters to level 80, and getting to the 30-minute mark in Green Acres, in, I forget what the other one was. I apologize. And 15 minutes in Boss Rash. Oh, was it the Forest? El Molise? Well, we already got that. I think it was 20 minutes in El Molise. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I know we just got it. The Bone Zone. The Bone Zone. All right, 30 minutes in the Bone Zone, Green Acres, and 15 minutes in Boss Rash. We need to get these unlocked characters to level 80, and we need to get all the base characters to level 50. And that should be enough for Collection 1.0. That should open up, that should unlock Queen Sigma, and then you can play Queen Sigma, killing 100,000 enemies in one level, which is not as difficult as it sounds. And you can also get all the banishes, and then you'll have the platinum. Then you'll have to go back in and play all the extra levels, all the bonus levels, challenge levels, and so forth. You can get those relics, you can get the weapons that are in there, like the Glass Fandango that we already have, and the Santa Javelin that we're going to get in the laboratory. But as you see me play some of these new levels, you don't necessarily have to jump in these levels to get the platinum if you're in a rush to get it. I took a quick break here in recording the audio, and now as I'm looking at the screen, I forgot to mention in the previous video and this video the kind of disclaimer and the warning that we put in the beginning of the first video. Lots of flashing going on here, and some of this stuff is sped up. So, you know, if you are sensitive to a lot of flashing in games, please pay attention to that and take care of yourself. So we unlocked Ambrojo, and we also got level 50 in Arca. We're going to get another level 50 here. Yeah, this game has a fair share of bright flashing lights, so I don't want anyone to be affected by any of my videos in a negative way. Here we have Christine finally getting the pentagram to do some good stuff here. It's hard to get her to level 50 because the pentagram does not allow for a lot of quick leveling at the beginning, because it deletes pretty much everything on screen, which is great for deleting the enemies, but it also deletes all the experience points and any treasure chests and so forth. So we got to level 50 and we went ahead and quit out. Lingered here a little bit longer than I probably needed to. Here is Poe at level 50. Again, you'll notice we're in the inlaid library. This is the best place, the easiest place to go if you need to get some of these characters to level 50 quickly. Go ahead and jump in there and do that. All right, now we're going to jump into the laboratory again. This is not needed for the platinum, but there's a lot of fun stuff in here, and it's a fun level to begin with. And there's 4 trophies that are dedicated just to this level. So if you want to take some time and jump in here, you're going to be really happy that you did. So there's 4 things that are in here. Well, there's 4 trophies, like I said, but there's 2 items to grab while you're in here. One of them is the Santa Javelin, which is a new weapon, which basically puts a series of spikes onto the floor randomly, and randomly or at random enemies. I can't remember exactly. We're playing as Martasio, as you can see, and I'm probably pronouncing his name differently every single time. This is sped up, of course, halfway. I'm sorry, double time. So this level has a bunch of switches, and sometimes when you hit those switches, you'll get weapons, passive items. There's a train at the bottom. Every time you hit that switch, the train will run through, And there's a trophy for killing a certain amount of enemies with the train. So feel free to have as much fun with that as you can. Again, we're trying to get Martasio to level 80. And when they start out with a throwable weapon that can't be evolved, it makes it a little bit more challenging, but kind of fun. I think this is the Santa Javelin. Nope, this is the Clover. We're going to get the Santa Javelin soon. But the other item that's in here after we get the weapon is the Armadillo. And that is a, just like the candy box, it has every single passive weapon, passive item that you could acquire in the game. So when you roll that up, or if it's a drop, there is a Darkazo card that drops it. Here's the Santa Javelin. Oh, and here's the Armadillo. I forgot it was in the same room. There you go. So you can select anything you want. If you want some more revives, go ahead and grab a Terragiso. If you want the Toronto's box, go ahead and grab that. I think I grabbed the Toronto's box because I thought that was the passive for the Santa Javelin. It's not. It's the Clover, and I should have grabbed the Clover before. Oh, I did grab the Clover. I have the Clover. Never mind. So here, you know, when we can, when there's a switch around, we're using it. Again, lots of flashing lights here. Lots of stuff going on. Sped up, double time. So that was 20 minutes, and that's when the Grim Reaper comes. Try to use the train on the Grim Reaper. I don't think it works. It doesn't, yeah. So here we go, all 4 of them. We killed the amount of people we needed to kill. We got the Armadillo, we got the Santa Javelin to level 7, and we survived 20 minutes in the laboratory, and we unlocked Santa. We unlocked Santa. Fun, fun, fun. Santa, of course, starts with the Javelin, and there is a miscellaneous trophy. Yes. Basically, one of the miscellaneous trophies, and I will make videos for all of these. Here's the Darkazo. Santa needs to basically evolve his weapon, Santa Javelin, and use it once against enemies in the evolved state, and you'll get a trophy for it. So here is the Darkazo in 1665. We got Martasio down here. I do not remember if this is when I get into level 80. We're reviving at level 27, probably not, but anything's possible. This play out and see how it works, but again, I don't remember exactly. I know one of the levels he's in it for a very long time. So we unlocked the Darkazo, but it's not allowing us to actually, well, because we only have one Darkazo card, never mind. The one that we already are using, which is the bottom card there that was kind of reddish with the black on the inside of the circle. Don't remember exactly what benefits there were. I know it did show it on screen, so feel free to rewind and check that out if you need to. So we're going back up, and at this point I was trying. I was like, you know what? I mean, maybe, who knows? We've already been all the way down this level, so I can't necessarily expect to get an entire 52 more levels with the small amount of enemies that are in here. Here we are jumping to the next. I'm going to guess that this is probably not going to happen here. Level 57 though. And there are definitely enemies. Well, maybe we do make it. Yeah, we don't make it. Now I'm remembering when we do. Yeah, okay, so we got the Darkazo, and of course, when you get the Randomazo and the Darkazo, you get your first card. So there. This is just showing you what the Santa Javelin looks like when you evolve it. We did get the evolution of the Santa Javelin. It is the Seraphic Cycle or Seraphic City or something like that. It's that kind of X with the arrow in it. And this was Green Acres. Oh, this is Inverse Mad Forest. Okay, so this is when, and the Santa Javelin, this is when I started playing the inverse versions of all the main levels, the first 4, because every playthrough, when you get to a level 80 with a character in inverse, which is very difficult because the enemies have 200% more health, you unlock an extra bonus level. So we unlocked Bat Country, we unlocked Astral Stair, and now Tiny Bridge. Previously we unlocked Laboratory, and we're playing through that. This is Bat Country, and there's a couple things in here. There's a couple relics to grab, and also feel free to hang out and kill as many bats as you want, because there is a trophy for killing, I think it's 161,616 bats, which will unlock pretty much one of the last weapons we're going to unlock in this game before the DLCs. And it is called something like Paco Batalaire. Basically, it is a weapon that is just a bunch of bats. And it kind of works a little bit like Gatiamara with the cats. The bats just fly all over the place, and if there's no enemies to attack, they attack you instead. So it's another joke weapon, I think. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well here with Martasio. Oh, and I'm also going to get the Apoplexy. So this gives you the Charm power-up. Previously, in the previous video, we got the Defang power-up, and that made the enemies weaker. I think it made like every 3rd attack or something like that not connect and not hurt you. Something like that. The way they worded it is a little bit differently than what I'm saying. But this, unfortunately, even though it sounds like a nice thing to get, the Charm power-up makes enemies tougher. It makes them increase in quantity as you level up, and it makes them more powerful. So if you're into that, feel free to add an extra little bit of challenge, and that shows up at 9 minutes. As you're playing Backcountry, 9 minutes, it will show up the power-up, the relic, I mean. And then at 18 minutes, the other item to collect will show up, and this is Chaos Gem. And these are fun. There's 3 of these that you can collect in the bonus levels, and they unlock the transformation of one of our new secret characters, Martasio, Osolemeo, Bianca Kavala, Bianca Ramba, and Sir Ambrosio. But it's actually only just 3 of them. It's Martasio, who we're playing right now, Yada Kavala, the panda, and Osolemeo, the dog. Once you collect these gems, we just collected now, I don't remember which one it is, but I'm sure it told us. When they get to level 80, they will transform just like this, right here. Martasio is just transformed into his other state, I guess you can say. And he reached level 80, which means we finally got what we needed to get. We got our reroll, and we are getting closer to our pursuit of the platinum. And basically, yeah, he'll do more damage, and it's just kind of fun to see him all powered up like that. So if you can, collect these. If you can, and again, it's not a requirement at all. You can get these bonus characters to level 80 without these Chaos Gems, and you will still get the trophy and the reroll, but it's just fun to experience this. And you'll see this character in the DLC. lot of them in one of the DLCs. Big Mountain Moon spell. Alright, we're probably going to shut this down here in a minute, and we're going to get a couple trophies. And I will drive this point home regularly. Martasio was the only, to level 80, was the only thing we needed to do there for the platinum. The other two relics that we collected are only for the 100%. We could have played any other level with Martasio and gotten him to level 80, but it was fun to do it that way. Here we are with Yada Kavala, and we are in the Astral Stair. We're going to collect a couple items, including the map. And I believe I showed the Milky Way map, which does show you where everything is, but it's very helpful to have the Astral Stair map because there are 5 levels. Oh, this is a golden finger, by the way. This is what the first golden finger that we're collecting. You're invincible, and it just shoves every enemy they can in the room, and it's a great way to power up quickly, get some cash, level up. Fantastic. But yeah, there's 5 levels to the Astral Stair, and you can only go up and down at the leftmost point of the map, and you go through these doors, and then you go from left to right. As you can see now that we have the map open here, you go from left to right, and the top, middle, and bottom have items. Well, we just collected the map in the middle level, so we got that one. We're going to go to the top to get a Chaos Gem, and I think the bottom is where our relic is. The bottom level. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. I know it's here somewhere. It's a gray circular relic we'll look at, but so we're going to get all 5 golden fingers here because they do have 5 golden fingers on this map. So we're going to get a trophy for collecting all 5 of those. But once you unlock them, you will see them in a lot of the... You'll see them show up in a lot of other places, and it's just super fun. You're invincible, and it gives you a great boost. And there's lots of flashing lights and pretty colors, and sounds like you hit the jackpot, basically. Here we are in the top left room. We get the Chaos Rosala, which turns Yada Kavala, the character we're playing as, and it allows them to transform once they get to level 80. I don't think I make it to level 80 in this one. I think I have to do it in Inlaid Library with Yada Kavala. But it's pretty cool transformation. So then we're going to go all the way back down, follow the arrow, and we're going to gather up the last item we need, which is a relic. You'll notice that there's a little roulette wheel at the bottom right screen. Essentially that dictates what kind of enemy swarms you're going to get. Eventually, this level, and I don't think I've seen it anywhere else, eventually this level gets a very strange enemy, and I'm not entirely sure how to defeat it. It's a floating egg that basically becomes like a nuclear bomb, and gives you a lot of damage every time it explodes, and it's very hard to avoid getting hit by it. And I haven't really found any way to take it out. I imagine it's probably like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Like if you focus your attack on it long enough and you keep your distance, which is very hard to do in this level. But if you keep your distance, hopefully you can take it out and get an egg. Here we have the trisection, the relic that's in the astral stair. And I have to be honest, this is a relic that I have not ever used. It allows for random events in all levels. And I know there's something, maybe it's the same relic or maybe it's a different one that allows for random weapon leveling or something. I don't know. It's not something I've ever used, but feel free to check that out when you're just playing recreationally. You're not worried about trophies or anything, and see what that does, because maybe it'll just make it more exciting and give you some fun little surprises. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab the other golden fingers that we haven't gotten, just so we can get that trophy knocked out. But I'm pretty sure at this point that I don't feel confident I'm going to get to level 80. Now that I just used the only other revive I have. So we're going to grab the 5 golden fingers so that we get that trophy. And then we're probably going to not make it much further after that. So let's just let this play out. And we will come back in at the end of the level screen. So there you have it. You saw those nuclear eggs and how they ruined me. But we got all 4 of the trophies that you can get in Astral Stair. We didn't get Yada Kavala to level 80, unfortunately, but that's okay. So again, not necessary for the platinum, but definitely useful to get done now. We're also going to jump into Tiny Bridge. There's a relic in here. There's not any new weapons, but there is a relic, and I don't remember exactly what it does. And we're going to use Bianca Ramba, and we're not going to get her to level 40, level 80, unfortunately. But we're going to go and get that Teardrop, which actually is another Chaos Gem. That's what that is. And I think it's for Bianca, so this is kind of working out nice. No, not Bianca. She doesn't transform. It would be for Ol Sole Mayo, then. The doggy. So, there's really not much to say about this. This is just, it's literally just this tiny bridge, very narrow. You walk all the way to one end, and I believe you can keep going, but like there's really no point. There's not much that happens here, and there's really no other reason to play other than to get that chaos gem. There is, I believe, the Vento Sacro is available as a pickup here, which I must have picked up along the way. Yeah, I believe I picked it up along the way. We've only been playing for 45 seconds though, so I don't remember exactly. I know the the wing passive is also a pickup here. There's some stuff over to the right that might be useful, but not really anything to get worked up about. This is kind of like a boss, like a mini boss. The sword follows you around, and you can take it out to get a treasure chest. And as you can see, the character we're playing as, the carts are doing very nicely, going back and forth and hitting all the enemies. There's our wing passive if you want to grab it. I didn't really have any need for it, so I think I might grab it anyway. Yeah, so there's lightning ring on the other side. There's a magnet. But there's really little of importance or worth, honestly, in this level. You just go in, grab the gem, and then quit out. There's really no reason to play. Because I had Bianca, I think I tried for a little bit longer to try to get her to level 80, but obviously that's not going to happen. You're not going to get large amounts of enemies coming at you. There's such a small little area that they can go to. It's not worth it. So we should be coming on up to it. I believe it's right here on the left. Yeah, here it is. It allows O Sole Mayo to morph when reaching level 80. And I think I go a little bit further. No, I don't. I was like, yeah, why bother? And at 9:20, here we are. Honestly, I think I just give up. I don't even bother. Yeah, I'm quitting out because there's nothing else left. There's no reason to play it any longer. We get the one thing we need, and we move on. And the last extra level is Space 54. We are going to play as Sir Ambrogio. We are going to get him to level 80. We're going to unlock everything in here that we need. So there is a new weapon here. It's called the Phaser. As you can see, if you go right and left, there are rosaries. There's golden fingers. There is the fire thing, whatever the heck that fire thing's called. And there's a couple other pickups. The Phaser's passive weapon, passive item, passive weapon, is the Empty Tome, which is available. 5 of them are available below us. So we're just going to go below and pick all the items up. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to tell where they are. You have to go. They're in a specific spot at each level. I keep going the wrong way. You go around the circle, and you take basically the second exit to the left. It's not to the right. It's not over here. It's over to the left. So we need to go to the left. So around the circle, I believe it is, yeah, I believe it's down here. Yeah. After the circle, you head to the left, and it's right there. And then we'll just keep going down and getting it. Now you'll notice there's things off of the platforms that we can't get to. I don't remember exactly what minute it happens, but at some point as you're playing this, you will no longer have any platforms to worry about, and you'll be able to walk wherever you want to in space. When you survive, I believe it's surviving for a certain amount of time, you'll unlock the spaceman character, who has the phaser as their primary weapon. We are going to evolve this weapon in this run. And like I said, we are going to get Sir Ambrojo to level 80. And it gets really, well, I mean, we're already speeding it up here, but it's going to get really flashy and colorful and all sorts of chaos eventually here. So, to be honest, there's not much more to say about this. I am heading to the right, and then I'm going to go up to the kind of major highway of all those rosaries and golden fingers and so forth. And then we are going to do a couple edits here, not for a few minutes, but just in the sake of time. So the other thing that pops up here is, I believe it's probably at minute 18, as some of these relics seem to do. We have a relic that's going to show up. It is a, looks kind of like a rainbow colored bracelet. And we are going to very nearly die before we get to it, but we're going to make it in the end. Alright, so we're heading back up so that we can get to that that point where everything is on the same level. And we're going to get some golden fingers, we're going to get some rosaries, we're going to get some magnets, because magnets are useful because there's so many experience gems that we can't reach right now. So it sure would be nice to do some levels. Watch out for these boxes. You're going to see green ones. You're going to definitely see red ones. Red ones are what's going to pretty much almost kill me. Or at least end they do kill me, but they almost end my level run. The problem with this level is there's only a few mini bosses. There's a couple larger green kind of blobby guys that show up. And they're pretty much your only chance after 10 minutes. I don't think they're even around. So I did not have a lot of silver treasure chests in this. So I had a heck of a time getting evolutions. But I did get to level 80. I did get the phaser leveled up to Photon, I believe. I believe that's how it's... I believe it's called Phaser now and Photon later. Oh yeah, you see that blob with one eye. I believe he's the only one that would leave any kind of treasure chest, and I don't believe they show up after 10 minutes, so you don't really get any silver treasure chests. And with 8 minutes, we are very slowly leveling everything up. But you'll see once we get 10 more minutes in, we're at level 80 already almost. We're heading up because at 18 minutes, that's when the relic shows up. So we're going to die a couple times here and use our revives, but there's a ton of floor chickens everywhere. So we're grabbing up those floor chickens. We're heading up to the relic if we can make it, and we do. So again, the good news is we're already at level 80, so we can always come back in here if we have to, and just focus on using a character that can blast through this a little bit better, but either way, we still make it, so we're good to go. So we're heading up to this relic. We're going to grab it, and I think we went too far. Let's go back down. So this enables random level up choices. I think I mentioned that before. There's random level events and random level up choices. And I have not used either of them in my gameplay. I'm going to jump back in probably tonight once this video goes out, because I just need to wrap up a couple things for the 100% of the main game and start the DLCs. Maybe I'll take a look and see what that is and report back in the final part of this video here. So with all of that taken care of, with 91,000 enemies killed, we got the phaser to 7. We leveled up whatever his name is, and we evolved it to the photon, and we got Brave Story, and we also unlocked the space dude. And as you can see, we are very close. Don't need the bats, even though we played Bad Country, we didn't get it. We just simply need to get 3 of our characters at level 80, even though we've been trying very hard. These you don't need to worry about. The Dark Ozo cards you don't need for the platinum, but we will be showing you how to get those in the next video. We're ignoring Charm and Curse, but we can get our rerolls. I was showing you there what the charm says. It's not for me. No thanks. Alright, so here we are in Inlaid Library, and Yada Kavala is going to get to level 80. Watch this fun transformation. Not what you'd expect, but there we are. That's what you get at level 80. An interesting choice. And I'm just noticing this now as I'm recording this audio, and I do want to go back and look at Martasio when they got to level 80, but if you'll notice, their weapon, was it a cookie or something? I don't know what. They threw out some weird cookie thing, or some weird sphere thing. But in the inventory, it's now looks like a triangle with an eye patch or something. That's very interesting. So, as you can see at the bottom of the weapon list, Yada Daikarin is what it's called. Unless that was what it was always called. I'm not sure. Bianca Ramba does not have an evolution, but they did get to level 80. So we got that out of the way. And then finally, Ol Sole Mayo. We got like level 62, but we get like 20 plus levels all in a row here after this. We just had a ton of red gems everywhere, and I think, yeah, look how fast she's leveling up. So the dog does have a transformation, and let's watch and see if her flowers turn into something. They do. Oh, they turn into the same kind of symbol that the last one did, so I guess. But this one looks like it's like a face of a dog almost. Kind of neat. I also love the evolution of the character. It's really pretty. And we're still leveling up like crazy. Very nice. Alright, we're going to quit that. Curious if that has a different name. Perfusino di Amore. Maybe? Again, I don't remember exactly what it was called. But if you'll notice, we just unlocked Queen Sigma. Because we got our last character to level 80. We got our last reroll. We finished our collection. And we unlocked Queen Sigma. We also banished 10 items during that run. Something you can do pretty much halfway through the run. And there's, just to drive it home, here's our Queen Sigma trophy. So Queen Sigma is very fun to use. She is crazy OP. She has a hash mark weapon that's called Victory Sword. And I guess I'm getting hurt here. I don't know. But it has a think 12 levels to it. And the way that you evolve the weapon, you don't even evolve the weapon, you evolve the passive. If you have a Tyrannos box and you get both the Victory Sword and the Tyrannos box fully leveled, the Tyrannos box will turn into a Sigma symbol, and I guess it affects the weapon, or at least makes her more powerful, because her weapon basically just kills random things on the screen. As you can see, they're just like pop, 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 pop. They're all dying. So, very easy to kill 100,000, which is what we're going to do here. We're not going to show you the whole bit, but if you also notice, she also had 118 banishes that we started with. So we're going to banish. We're going to banish a lot, and by the end, it's going to be kind of ridiculous. I ended up banishing pretty much all of my passive items that I was holding on to after I got a few levels in, because I realized I don't need anything else to evolve. But I did evolve. I evolved pretty much everything. The only thing I didn't evolve was the Rune Tracer. And we are at 97,000, 98,000. Level 606. So yeah, obviously not too shabby a character to play with. Obviously we won't knock her when we won't knock everything else, so we don't want to give you the easiest character to use right away, otherwise there'd be no challenge. So there you go. And you can see all those red dots, that's where I banished those weapons. I banished everything that rolled up that I didn't want, and I was able to banish up to 40 items. I even banished some of the weapons that I had already leveled up fully when they rolled up for... oh, actually, no, I don't think I was able to. I don't think they allow you to banish a limit break when you roll that. So, I'm not sure why we're sitting here so long. I thought maybe there was a reason. Maybe I was expecting to prattle on about... Well, you see the Toronto box is actually still there, and it's leveled up fully, and we have a Sigma. So maybe it just adds a Sigma? It adds another weapon into our passive slot? I have no idea. I don't know how it works, but that Sigma is because we have the Toronto box fully leveled and the Victory Sword fully leveled. We leveled it to 96 times. Oh my goodness. Of course, this game, I don't think I've ever talked about it. This game, when you get to the limit break, you can choose to just allow the game to pick up a random weapon, an evolved weapon to upgrade each time. Then you don't have to go through that process on your own. Yeah, I had no idea this went this long. I'm quitting now. Okay. All right. Well, that works. And you can see all the things that rolled up. Some of them I banished, because I banished 40 things. We were able to kill 100,000 plus enemies. So we got all 3 of those, and that is all we need. I am going to show the platinum here, because the in-game achievements wouldn't show the platinum, obviously. So we just have a few very minor, small things to take care of. A couple miscellaneous trophies and the adventures, and 1 or 2 other very small things. So we will handle those in the next video, and then the DLCs. All right, hope this helped. Take care.